Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I welcome all the devotees for today's Bhakti Shastri class. Today is the Unit 2, Session 3. We are continuing. Let us take the blessings of Shri Shri Radha Govinda, Shri Shri Gaurnitai and Srila Prabhupada for starting our session today. Shri Shri Radha Govinda ki jai, Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. What we have learned in the previous session, that is lesson 2 from chapter 7, text number 15 to 30. We have first seen the 4 types of people who surrender to Krishna and 4 types of people who do not surrender to Krishna. They are called Dushkritina and Sukritina. And then we have seen why Jnani is considered as more qualified than any other 3 people, those who surrender to Krishna, because Jnani is certain about his goal and he knows why he has come, and other 3 may go back or they may leave because they are, if they are whatever they want, if it gets fulfilled, they may leave the devotional service. And the demigod worshippers, they are less intelligent because whatever worship they do, if they directly do it for Krishna, then they will get a better improvement in the spiritual life, or they can perfect their life. Just by going to demigod, they may get some material benefits, but that is not lasting for long. That's why it's told here they are less intelligent people. Then Prabhupada's mood and Sri Nityananda Prabhu's mood, that Prabhupada is telling that if somebody comes in contact with the pure devotee, even if he is not qualified, but still he can take to Krishna consciousness. Just like in the Western world, when Prabhupada went there, he made the people to qualified for taking to Krishna consciousness, even though they were completely ignorant about the spiritual life. And Nityananda Prabhu, those are the 2 Dushkritina, one who did not come for Krishna or to understand what is the spiritual life, Jagai and Madhai, but Nityananda Prabhu delivered that. So when the person comes in contact with the pure devotee or the Lord himself, there are chances that he can take to Krishna consciousness and he can make his life perfect. This is like a kripa siddhi. Just by the mercy of a guru and Krishna, the person can advance in the spirituality. And Krishna is covered by the internal potency. That's why we cannot see him. This is the analogy is given how the cloud is covering the sun. The cloud covers our vision, not the sun. Sun cannot be covered by the cloud. Similarly, Krishna is covered by the internal potency. That's why we cannot see him with our material eyes. And relevance of the punya karma for practice of Krishna Bhakti. So by practicing pious credit, one who has pious credit, they will gradually come to Krishna consciousness. These are the points that we have discussed in the previous session. Now continuing to the new session, next session, that is Unit 2, Chapter 7 to 12. Today is the third session, Chapter 8. This Chapter 8 is beginning with 8 questions from Arjuna. So in the 7th chapter, if you see the last 2 shloka, the last 2 text, Jara Marana Mokshaya Mama Shritya Yatantiye Te Brahma Tadvidu Krishnam Adhyatmam Karma Chakilam. That is 29. And Sadhi Bhutadi Daivam Mam Sadhi Yajnam Cha Te Viduhu Prayana Kale Pichamam Te Vidur Yukta Chetasaha. This is the 30th text. These 2 texts are the key points for beginning this 8th chapter. Now Arjuna is asking the same questions. Whatever Krishna told in brief in 2 texts, the sum of the technical words or some of the key words that Krishna has spoken, but he has not explained it. Now Arjuna is asking, or he is inquiring about the same. In 29, text number 29, we have the word Brahma, Adhyatma, Karma, Adibhuta, Adidaiva. These all are asked by Arjuna in the first text of 8th chapter. And in the 30th text, Adhiyajna and Prayana Kale, that is how to give up this body at the end. These are the 2 questions. Prayana Kale Pichamam Te Vidur Yukta Chetasaha. That's what Krishna told. Now Arjuna is asking about the same in the 8.2. So this is how the chapter 8 begins. Now Krishna is answering the 6 topics in the 2 texts, text number 3 and 4. Brahma, if you see, you can open that Bhagavad Gita, keep it open. What is Brahma? We say Aham Brahmasmi. Every jiva, every living entity is a Brahma. Now the word Brahma, it is being used in many places. The first living entity who came from the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, he is also called Brahma. He is the first created being, and he is the creator of all. So that is Brahma. Brahma also means the biggest, or the one who is the supreme. So that is Brahma. And in this context, Brahma also refers all the living entities. Each and every living entity is also called as Brahma. That means the first living entity Brahma, the Chaturmukha Brahma, he is also a jiva like us. But one who has got qualified, he can take up that position. The person, the Chaturmukha Brahma, he is also a living entity, but he is qualified to take that position. Similarly, every living entity in this material world is also a jiva. And if he qualifies himself, he can also take that position. Brahma is a post. It is not the name of the person. Just like we have Prime Minister, it's a post. We say Narendra Modi, it's a person. Similarly, we have Brahma. Brahma is the post. And the name of the present Brahma is Virinchi. Virinchi is the name of the Brahma. So the word Brahma refers to each and every living entity. And if we get qualified, we can also become Brahma. We can hear that Anjaneya, he also got the Brahma position. he will become the next Brahma, next coming Kalpa. He will take that position. So anybody who is pleasing to Krishna and one who has qualified himself, he will take that position as Brahma. So overall, we can say every living entity is a Brahma. That's why it's called as Aham Brahmasmi. But Lord is not in our position. We all are Jiva Tattva. But Lord is the Vishnu Tattva. No living entity can become God. Whatever qualification you may get, you will never become God. So that's why the Lord is called as Parabrahma. We all are Brahma. The Lord is Parabrahma. And all the expansions of the Lord, it all comes under Vishnu Tattva. They don't come under Jiva Tattva. So no Jiva can become God, and no God, the Lord never come to the position of Jiva. Even though he comes here as an incarnation, he will still considered as Parabrahma. He is Lord himself. That is the understanding of Brahma. Then next is coming Adhyatma. Adhyatma, in the common language, we say the spiritual knowledge or the spiritual understanding, practice, all this called as Adhyatma. Adhyatma Vijnana, we say, the science of spirituality. But in the very basic understanding of Adhyatma means the nature of the living entity. The living entity, each and every living entity has his own nature. And what is the actual nature of the living entity? Jivera Swarupa Hoya Krishnera Nitya Dasa. That Swarupa, what we call, that is called Adhyatma here. Jivera Swarupa Hoya Krishnera Nitya Dasa. The real identity of each and every living entity is to become the servant of Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is called as here Adhyatma. So nature of the self is the Adhyatma, and service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is our Adhyatma, or is our nature. And that is what we are supposed to get. Karma, as we all know, karma means the activity. The word karma, Sanskrit word karma, has two meanings. One is the activity itself and the reaction of activity. Action and reaction, both are called as karma. Just like we say, I am doing my karma. And also we say, these all are because of my karma. I am doing my karma, that is what activity you are doing. And whatever happens, we say, all these are happening because of my own karma. That means you are referring to reaction. The word karma can refer to action as well as the reaction of the activity. So activity that develops a body, which is called as karma, that is the reaction. The reaction of our activity will develop our next body. And Vedic sacrificial process, that is the karma. With certain intention, we perform some yajna to satisfy the Lord, and as a result, we get the benefits. So that is also called as karma. Then Adhibhuta. The word bhuta means all surrounding whatever we have around us. It's all coming under bhuta. We say Adhibhuta. Adibhautika klesha, we say, no? Adibhautika klesha means the misery is caused by other living entity. So whatever is there except me, everything else is coming under Adhibhuta. So material manifestation, whatever we say around us, it's all coming under Adhibhuta. The material manifestation. Within this material world, whatever is there surrounding me, that is the material nature, it is all coming under Adhibhuta. Adhidaiva. Adhidaiva, the word Daiva refers to the Lord. Here, the universal form of the Lord and all the demigods, they all are coming under Adhidaiva. We have Adhidaivika klesha. That means the misery is caused by the higher power or the demigods who are controlling this material world. That they all are coming under Adidaiva, and the universal form of the Lord is also Adidaiva. Then Adhiyajna, the Lord is called as Yajna Purusha. Yajna means to perform activity for the pleasure of the Lord. When we do japa, it is japa yajna. When we do sankirtan, it is sankirtan yajna. Everywhere we add the word yajna because it is performed for the pleasure of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, Adhi Yajna, who is a supreme person who is enjoying the yajna, that is the Paramatma who is present in each and every person's heart. And he is present in the heart. Anybody like to read can raise their hand. Yeah, Muralidharan Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
In the transcendental association of Krishna consciousness, one can understand how the Supreme Lord is the governing principle of the material manifestation and even of the demigods.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sarita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Gradually, by such transcendental association, one becomes convinced of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and at the time of death, such a Krishna conscious person can never forget Krishna. Naturally, he is thus promoted to the planet of Supreme Lord, Goloka Vrindavana.
Thank you, Mataji. Now the question is, how can one know about the Lord at the time of death? So this is the actual purpose of life. The real purpose of life is to go back to Godhead. And the key to go back to Godhead is to remember Lord at the time of death. And if anybody is able to remember the Lord at the time of death, he will definitely go back to Godhead. Krishna himself is telling, Na asti atra samshayaha. There is no doubt about it. You will definitely reach your destination, the supreme abode of Krishna. Antakale chamamiva smaran muktva kalevaram. Ya prayati samadbhavam yati nasti atra samshayaha. You will definitely reach that supreme abode. Dipti Mataji, can you read this?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. How can one know you at the time of death? And whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Bhagavad Gita 8.5. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Our destination is determined, or it will be decided based on what kind of consciousness we develop at the time of death. Now, developing the consciousness at the time of death is not so easy. It is just like, imagine how much possession you have in this material world, how much wealth you have, and how many relatives you have, and how much name you have, and whatever you have made in this material world. You are going to leave it within one moment or 1 second. Everything will be lost at a time. If we lose all our bank balance at a time, it will be a shock for us. Or if we lose some close relative of us, it will be a shock for us. Or if we lose something very to which whatever we have attached, if we lose our house, or if we lose, even some people, if their pet dog, if it dies, they cannot take the shock. But at the time of death, for the world, we are the only people who are going to die. But for the person who is dying, for him everything is lost. Everything will be lost. So such a great shock that a person undergoes, that is the emotionally he is undergoing, and physically also, there will be a pain of 40,000 scorpions biting the body at the time of death. We cannot take the biting of one scorpion. It is so painful when the jiva is being dragged out of the body. Because we are attached to this body since so many years, so many years we are within this body, and we are attached to it, and we are taking care of it. And suddenly the Yamadutas are coming and saying, okay, now your time is up, you have to come out. The jiva will not go out. So they have to drag it. So that is very, very painful. So both ways, physical pain and mental pain. And where is the question of remembering Krishna at that time? The person will remember either his possessions, he will remember his relatives, he'll remember whatever things he has done, or whatever immediate cause of his death, he will think about that. And based on that, he will get the next life. So we should understand the importance of this situation. We take it very light. We say that whatever you remember at the time of death, you will get it. Okay, let me remember Krishna at the time of death. Why to waste my time now? Let me enjoy. No, it will not happen like that. First of all, we don't know when the death will come. The death can come at any time. Just like when we sit quiet without doing any activity for some time, suddenly we fall asleep. And we don't know that I had slept for some time. When the sleep comes, we don't understand. And then how can we know that when death comes? We don't understand when the death comes. The person will suddenly fall and he will collapse. Or some accident may happen, or some disease may come and take him back. So we should work on this point to develop the consciousness which will perfect our life. Sarita Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
How can one know youth at the time of death? Yam vapi smaran bhavam tatyate ante kale varam tam eveti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha.
Read the translation.
Whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. Bhagavad Gita 8.6. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now the body, what we get in the next life, it is based on whatever consciousness we have. If we have the example of Bharat Maharaj has elevated himself spiritually so much that he has reached the level of bhava. Bhava is the highest level. Next to it is the prema. He will get Krishna prema. At that position, when he left the body, he remembered a deer. This story comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. In the next life, he got the body of a deer. But fortunately, Lord gave him the remembrance of his previous life. And even in the body of a deer, the deer was not attracted to green grasses, and it was not running here and there in the forest, but it took the association of the devotees, and he left that body. And in the next life, he again got a human body, and he perfected his life. So this is the importance of remembering Krishna at the time of death. If husband remembers the wife at the time of death, he will get a female body. If the wife remembers the husband at the time of death, she will get a male body. So we should think how we should make our consciousness ready for this death. That is Antakale. Sureshwar Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Antakale. One's thoughts during the course of one's life accumulate to influence one's thoughts at the moment of death. So this life creates one's next. If in one's present life, one lives in the mode of goodness and always thinks of Krishna, it is possible for one to remember Krishna at the end of one's life. Purport.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Hare Krishna.
So Srila Prabhupada says, life is a preparation, death is an examination. And if we don't prepare for the examination in the life, then we are going to fail the exam. Just like the small children say, if we ask them, are you not going to study for your exam is going to come, Oh, I will study just 2 weeks before. If I study, it's enough. I can score well. It is not a problem. So similarly, we also say, after 60, I'll practice Krishna consciousness. What is the need for doing now? But that is not going to work. Because when you reach 60, you will have so many problems. The bodily problems. And since there is no practice, Krishna consciousness, you cannot take it so easily. Unless the person has the taste for it, he cannot start. If we start reading Bhagavad Gita for the beginning, in the first time, the person will fall asleep on the book itself because he will not be able to understand and he has no taste. And at the age of 60 or 65, the person has problems with reading and he cannot sit in one place for a long time. He cannot take care of his body itself. Then where is the question of taking care of his studies of Bhagavad Gita? That's why knowing this only we make the students to study in their early age. Kaumara acharet prajno dharman bhagavataniha durlabham manusham janma tadapi adhruvam arthadam. Prahlad Maharaj told. Kaumaram acharet prajno. One who is intelligent, he has to take up this Krishna consciousness in the childhood itself. Because childhood is the best time for studies. Wherever you see, it may be in India or in whatever country or whatever community, the study is in the beginning. First you study, then you work. It's not that you do all the activity first as an ignorant, then you learn, oh, whatever I have done, it's all waste. It's all useless. I spent all this time uselessly. Now I have to do everything, something which is useful. So that is the need. Yeah, may I have some volunteers? I request everyone to keep their video on. Shri Priya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare.
That Antakale, at the time of death, at the end of life, Antakale chamam, unto me, eva, certainly smaran, remembering the deity worship especially meant for this purpose, so that you go on worshipping the deity of Radha and Krishna. Naturally, you'll be practiced to think of Radha Krishna always within your heart. Bhagavad Gita 8.1, Geneva, June 7, 1970. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Srila Prabhupada has established so many temples around the world and he has taught us this deity worship and he has made so many services. He has given the service of book distribution, the reading Srimad Bhagavatam daily and attending Mangalarati and doing Sankirtan, doing Japa, this deity worship. All these things are with only one intention, Smartavyam Sadatam Krishna Vismartavyam Na Jatuchit. Sarva Vidhi Nishedasur Yetayoreva Kinkaraha. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. This is the root idea or the requirement, whatever activity we are doing. We are performing so many festivals, we are doing so many activities in the temple. The only purpose is always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Whenever we practice this deity worship, either in the temple or at home, we are taking care of the deity like a child. The deity of the Lord has to be taken care in such a way that we should respect the deity like a king and we should love the deity like a child. We should have the respect of a king and love of a child. Both should be there simultaneously. We should not disrespect. Oh, he's my child. I cannot disrespect him. And he's Lord himself. He will take care of himself. No, you have to take care of him. Both should happen simultaneously. Now, for the small child, what we do, we wake up the child in the morning and we bathe the child and we dress the child, we decorate the child and we'll talk about the child. This is what we do every day in the temple. We wake up the Lord, we offer him the bhoga, we bathe the Lord, we do abhisheka for him and we do alankara for him with the cloth, with the flowers, and we do arati for him. And then we read Bhagavatam and we'll read his pastimes and we discuss about him. All these activities are happening so that we can remember the Lord at the time of death. Okay, now somebody may say that remembering only is the important. Then what about the activity? Should I work or not? Internal remembrance and external practice, both should be there. You should not say that I always remember Krishna. Okay, I'll sit in one place, I just remember Krishna. I say Krishna, 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 and I don't do any activity. That is also not allowed. You should do devotional service, because devotion, bhakti means devotional service. Always service is involved. You cannot simply say that I have the remembrance of Krishna and I don't want to work. This is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. Giridhar Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yudhyacha mai arpita manobuddhir mam evashyasi asamshayah. Hare Krishna.
Read the translation. Continue.
Yes. Yeah. Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. Bhagavad Gita 8.7. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now Arjuna may become very happy. Oh, Krishna, you told to remember you. Okay, I'll remember you. Let me stop fighting. But that is not going to happen. Krishna is telling, Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha. You should remember me and you also fight. Not only remembering me or not only fighting. Both should happen together. You should act and you should remember. The consciousness should be involved and the activity should be performed. This is the perfect way of doing. Because we cannot maintain this body without doing activity. If we don't work, Sharira Yatra Pichate Na Prasiddhed Akarmanaha. Akarmana, giving up all the activity, you cannot even maintain yourself. Then where is the question of doing devotional service? Your all endeavor will be zero. It will all collapse. So you have to work and you should remember. How to do this? Krishna is answering everything. Okay. Can I have some volunteers to read this? Any new face? Please keep your video on. There are many people here. Madhuri Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Arjuna is fighting. That is also Krishna consciousness. Mam Anushramam Yuddhacha. Krishna said, you chant, you remember me, at the same time fight. He never said that simply fight or simply chant, because in the material world, that is not possible. Therefore, chanting must be there, but at the same time, you have to work how to continue this movement. Bhagavad Gita 16.9, Hawaii, February 5, 1975. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. During the beginning time of this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, there were many people who were working outside. And whatever they were earning, they were giving to the movement for continuing the movement. Many devotees have contributed whatever earning they did. So that was the requirement. Srila Prabhupada has encouraged it, because without that one cannot continue. One should always work and also practice Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, this movement will not continue. Everyone should contribute. Now, how to remember Krishna at the same time? We have to work. This is called as abhyasa. Yeah, anybody volunteers? Please keep your hands raised so that I can quickly continue. Netravati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanyagamina paramam purusham divyam yati partanu chintayan.
Continue.
He who meditates on me as Supreme Personality of Godhead, his mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path, he, O Partha, is sure to reach me. Bhagavad Gita 8.8. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Abhyasa. Abhyasa means to perform something which is not naturally we are doing. That is called abhyasa or practice. Practice is needed when we are not very good at doing something. That is the abhyasa. The word abhyasa is used. So Krishna is asking us to practice. You can practice this remembering of Krishna at the same time working. Now the example we can take the mother with a child. The mother is performing all the activities at home. She is cooking the food and she is cleaning the house and she is taking care of all the household activities. At the same time, she has her consciousness over the child, where the child has gone, what the child is doing. She is able to take care of the child together. So in that same manner, whenever we are acting in this material world, we should remember Krishna. How this is possible? We should bring Krishna to the activity that we are performing. So whatever activity we do, it is finally for the pleasure of the Lord. Whatever activity the parents do, it is finally for the betterment of the child. Their main aim is to make sure that the child is getting all the facility or the child is happy. So similarly, all the activity that we do, if it is concentrating around Krishna, then our life is successful. We can remember him very easily. The remembrance of the child for the mother, it doesn't require any abhyasa. It comes naturally. In that manner, we should remember Krishna. So that is how we should mold our life, so that we can remember Krishna at the time of death. Okay, no new hands are up. Shri Hari Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Chetasa Gamina. If you think of Krishna 24 hours, then you will become fully Krishna conscious and your life is successful. Don't allow anything. This requires little practice. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanya gamina. I should not allow my mind to go to think of any other thing, other subject other than Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.14-15, Los Angeles, May 30, 1972. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Ma'am.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So whenever we hear about someone or something which because of which we get attracted, then we remember them more and more. So first thing is we should get attracted or we should get captivated. Prabhupada uses the word captivated. We should get captivated by the information and the knowledge that we are getting in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Whatever the Krishna is describing, whatever the devotees of the Lord describing, whatever pastimes the Lord is performing, if we get captivated by those activities, by those pastimes, and by those knowledge, we can remember Krishna very easily. It requires little practice. Practice, it is not something mental speculation we should do. We should practice to remember Krishna by hearing about Krishna, by acting for Krishna, by associating with the devotees, and making our life in such a way that we should always remember Krishna in each and every activity that we perform. Then we can make our life perfect. That is called abhyasa. Here is an example of a abhyasa. Sarita Kapoor Mataji. Yeah, please unmute
The
yourself.
mind is fickle, and therefore it is necessary to engage the mind by force to think of Krishna. One example often given is that of the caterpillar that thinks of becoming a butterfly and so is transformed into a butterfly in the same life. Similarly, if we constantly think of Krishna, it is certain that at the end of our lives, we shall have the same bodily constitution as Krishna. Bhagavad Gita 8.8 purport. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. The mind is fickle. It is always jumping from one subject to another. If we just sit and observe our mind, you can see it it will shift from one subject to another. It will take one topic and some related topic, it will go and jump there, and then it will jump to another topic and keeps jumping, and it will not stay in one place. That is fickling mind. That is the nature of the mind. But we have to force that mind to think of Krishna. Here forcing means we should externally give the knowledge of Krishna, the pastimes of Lord Krishna, by surrounding ourselves with the paraphernalia or the environment which is conducive for remembering Krishna. In that way, we can make our mind only think of Krishna. Just like you can have a large picture of Krishna in front of you wherever you are sitting, maybe in your office or in your house, where you sit for a long time in a place, you keep a picture of Krishna. So whenever you look around, you will see the picture of Krishna and suddenly you remember Krishna. So this is one of the way we can do. So by remembering Krishna again and again, the example is the caterpillar. It will be thinking of becoming a butterfly. So by thinking of a butterfly, it will become a butterfly. By thinking of Krishna regularly, daily, then we will also get the body just like the body of Krishna, and we'll go back to Krishna. So this is the analogy that is given here by Srila Prabhupada. Now, continuing, this chapter name is Akshara Brahma Yoga or Akshara Parabrahma Yoga. Krishna answers Arjuna's question in first 4 texts, and then 5 to 9, remembering Krishna at the time of death. Then from 10 to 13, he is talking about Yoga Mishra Bhakti, how to remember Krishna through yoga. Then he talks about Ananya Bhakti or pure devotional service, 14, 15, 16. Then comparing the material and spiritual world. Then finally attaining the Supreme. This is how the chapter is distributed. Now, whatever we have studied up to here, it is Yoga Mishra Bhakti by practice. Abhyasa means yoga. Now, coming to pure devotional service, it is called as Ananya Bhakti. The word Ananya, An means without, Anya means something else. Ananya means without anything else. Remember Krishna. That is called pure devotional service. That is called Ananya Bhakti. That is the highest platform. In Bhagavad Gita, there are many places we can use. You can see this word Ananya. Ananya Cheta. If you see 8.14, Ananya Cheta Satatam Yomam Smarati Nityashaha Tasyaham Sulabha Partha Nityayuktasya Yoginaha. Similarly, 8.22, you have Purushasa Parapartha Bhaktya Labhyastva Ananyaya Yasyantastani Bhutani Yena Sarvam Idam Tatam. That is Bhaktya Ananyaya, unalloyed devotion, without deviation from of the mind. Then in the 9th chapter also we have Bhajanti Ananya Manasaha, 9.13. Mahatmanastu Mampartha Daivi Prakriti Mashritaha Bhajanti Ananya Manaso Jnatva Bhutadim Avyayam. Fully engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. That is also called Ananya Bhakti. Then in the 9.22 we have Ananyas Chintayanto Ma Yejana Pariyupasate. Ananya, it also starts with Ananya. Ananya Chintayanto Ma Yejana Pariyupasate. Tesham Nityabhayuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. Exclusive devotional service. Then 9:30 we have Ananya Bhag. That is Apichetsu Duracharo Bhajate Mam Ananya Bhag. Sadhureva Samantavya Samyak Vyavasito Hisaha. Here again the word comes. Ananya Bhag. Then Bhakt 54, we have the text. Is the last but one. Bhaktya Ananyaya Shakya Ahamevam Vidhorjuna Jnatum Drashtum Cha Tattvena Praveshtum Cha Parantapa. Again, here you use the word undivided devotional service to attain Krishna. Ananya Yogena Bhakti, 13.9. Athachittam Samadhatum Na shaknoshi mai stiram abhyasa yogena tato. Sorry, this is 11. Yeah, 13.9. Indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshana. Okay, there is another, maybe there is a mistake in the numbering. Ananya yogena bhakti. So in this way, there are many places the word ananya is used. To achieve this ananya bhakti is the perfection of life. Now here is a activity about this ananya group discussion. So read the verse and purport of 8.14. Go to chapter 8 and text number 14. Ananya cheta satatam, that same verse. Use the purport and translation. Discuss with your another partner or in the group points that reflect the mood of Srila Prabhupada. Just come out with some points that Prabhupada has explained about Ananya in the purport. Mood of Srila Prabhupada. Ananya Cheta. How and what does it mean about Ananya? How to practice it? What is Ananya Bhakti? So this is the group discussion points. You have, after coming back, you should be able to reflect some of the points which says about the mood of Srila Prabhupada about this Ananya Bhakti. Hope the question is clear for all. There are totally 17 people here. I'll make 3 groups. I think that is enough. 3 or 4. Muralidhan Prabhu?
Yeah, 4 will be nice.
Yeah, 4 is okay. I'll make 4 groups. You have 3 minutes for discussion and 2 minutes for presentation after the discussion. The time starts now. I request the devotees to raise their hand, any one person from each group, so that they can present their points. Yeah. Deepti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, the points that we discussed from this is related to Ananya Bhakti, Ananya Chetaha, like without the deviation of the mind and always, Satatam. So a pure devotee, there are a few qualifications of the pure devotee that they desire nothing except Lord Shri Krishna. So in other kind of yogas that we have seen, there would be different desires which are associated with people. Like somebody would like to seek oneness, they want to just merge into the oneness. I mean, they would like to merge into the Brahma Jyoti. Similarly, other people would have different desires, but like they would like to desire the promotions to the Swargaloka and other heavenly planets and seek pleasures there. But a pure devotee is always nishkam. He has no personal selfish interest. The only purpose of his life is to serve the Lord with undeviated devotion, like unflinching devotional. They would like to engage only in the unflinching devotional service of the Lord. And wherever they go, they just create the atmosphere of Vrindavan. So it's not only that, yeah, we understand that Vrindavan is the replica of the Goloka, I mean, for us in the material world, but still, wherever the pure devotees go, they create that particular atmosphere of Vrindavan. So, and they carry the blessings, they always carry blessings of the Lord with themselves. Not only that, a pure devotee, it's like they always, whenever they are doing the worship of the Lord, when they are doing the devotional service, it could be in any of the personal features, like the various plenary expansions of the Lord, like the incarnations like Lord Rama or Lord Narsimha. So, and when they do this, as we have discussed, that a person who is fully surrendered and who are engaged in the devotional service, they can only understand the Supreme Lord. So they have understood, as we know that the Lord is the Sarva Karan Karanam. So they have that particular understanding. So not only that, when a pure devotee engages in such a deep, when they have such a deep connection, as we understood in the last 6.47, that Lord says that particular person, that yogi is very dear to me, who always meditates upon me. So similarly, Lord also continuously remembers them. So even at the time of death, if a person also goes in coma because of his physical conditions, if a person is unable to remember the Lord himself remembers the person. So this is what we have understood. And then they could also serve the Lord in the various kinds of the bhavas, like the Shanta Bhava, Dasya Bhava. The purpose is they would just like to keep themselves associated with the Lord and engage in the devotional service. They do not wish any of the personal selfish interests or any pleasures. They do not seek that. And the best part to associate with the Lord on daily basis is through chanting. That is Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, because it helps us in our own purification, as we understand, like Teto Darpan Marjanam. So this is what we have understood, Prabhuji, from this particular verse. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sarita Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah, so what we understood is from the purport. So all the different yogis, apart from bhakti yogis, so they all have desires. So, but only, and Prabhupada has given a reference to from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nishkama, like Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Kami, Sakale Ashanti, Krishna Bhakta Eva Shanti, Nishkama, Ateva Shanta, something.
Yeah.
So bhukti means he has a expectation of fruitive desires, and mukti is expecting for liberation. Siddhi means for some kind of siddhi he has desire. Then, but karmi also he has a desire. But then only Krishna Bhakta, he does not have any other desire. The pure devotee who other than serving the Lord. So, and Prabhupada says that Krishna is so merciful that he manifests himself in the form that the devotee desire to see the Lord. So if like how Lord Hanuman want to see only like Lord Ram. So in that, any of the personal form is fine to do. So the Bhakti Yoga is the simplest one. And also, when somebody sincerely is doing that, Krishna gives that buddhi yoga. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite, Krishna says. And Prabhupada also mentions that wherever it is no mandate, it's not required that the pure devotee has to, some have a belief like if pure devotional service, one has to be in a dham. But actually, Prabhupada says that's not actually needed, because wherever there is a pure devotee, he makes that dham. So, best example is Prabhupada himself, like how wherever he went, how he changed the place into Vaikuntha. And also Bhagavatam says, Tirtham Kurvanti Tirthani, which Yudhishthira Maharaj mentions to Vidura. So, and Prabhupada mentions two terms which are very important, Satatam and Nityashaha. That is, devotional services should be continuous, that is always, and it has to be regular. And with 5 rasas, we can associate with the Lord. And also the chanting of the Hare Krishna is with that we can always remember Lord. And also the best thing is that Krishna also reciprocate. Whoever remembers Krishna, Krishna is also there for them. So that is what we understood from this.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Next one. Giridhar Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhupada mentions that a devotee does not need a place without time or place. A devotee always thinks of Krishna, and he does not have any self-interest other than devoting his time towards Krishna. So, being it chanting or doing service to the Lord physically or inside his heart. And Prabhupada advises a devotee to either live in a holy place or around the place around the Vrindavana. And bhaktas must always be engaged in one of the rasas, such as Madhurya rasa, Dasya rasa, Sakya rasa, and Shanta rasa. And he says that devotee should always worship on the personal form of the Lord. These are the points we have understood from the purpose.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Sarita Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam. All of them have spoken quite a lot, Prabhuji. So it has been nearly summarized, but what I understood, I'll just put on my points. See, Prabhupada tries to explain that there are different forms of the yogas which we can worship Lord in different forms, but all of them have except for Bhakti Yoga, which is the best, all of them have a selfish motto behind it. And everybody wants to attain, either want to submerge in the Brahm Jyoti, or maybe want to attain some materialistic things, or maybe but in the Karma Yoga, Gyan Yoga, Hatha Yoga, there is always a self desire behind it. So what we have to do it in a niskam form. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says that you should have no desire. Only desire should be to serve God, serve Krishna. So what are the procedure, how we can do it? We can do best is the Bhakti Yoga, but how to further on dividing into Bhakti Yoga, how we follow it. It is that it should be Niskama. It should be remembered. You can remember Lord in any form. It can be in any of his incarnations as Narsimha Dev or in the Rama form. You can remember in that form also. And it is said that Krishna is very, very merciful. There's no limit for his mercy. So he's called as Sulubha. So he is so much giving to everybody. He's very easy to be achieved. That is whatever. If you go one step ahead, he will come 10 steps ahead to catch you, to hug you. That is there to support you. So that is why how will he pull your hand and he will help you to go into that Bhakti Marg. So what we can do, it's not a specific place that he wants us to go and do it. You can create your Vrindavan anywhere. So you can create whichever place you it. That can be a holy place, provided your mind, your speech, your mind, your thought, your body actions all are pure. If that is there, you can create a Vrindavan in any place, wherever you are praying. So it is not that you pray once in a day, or it is always regular, every day, every minute, every second, every microsecond. Even in the form, if you sleep in that consciousness that I have to, okay, get up and make bhoga. What I have to do is I'm sleeping in that consciousness. You pray before, see Krishna's picture before you sleep. When you get it, put something in front of in your room, like you also mentioned, Prabhuji, keep somewhere so that all the time, Nityatam, always you can remember him. Then you can serve him in any of the bhakti or bhakti form, in any of the form. See, there is also, say it may be in the Dasya Shantras, you can think him as to be his child, you can think him as to be your friend, you can think him as to be your boss, you can think Bak in a Dasya Rasa, you can think him at a Shant, you even only sitting down and thinking about him, that also he's given the liberty. So he's so merciful, kisi bhi tarah karo, but do it. But that is the only way what he wants to do, and the best way to do is for the chanting. And Krishna is so merciful that if you don't have intelligence, then also if you desire, he gives you the intelligence to do it also. He bestows on you the buddhi to do it, but just give a desire to do it. See, in the morning, sometimes, Prabhuji, there's no flowers. You always wish. And regarding bhakti, if you ask something, he will definitely be fulfilled. This is the realization I've always got. That in the morning, supposing you don't have flowers, you don't have a garland, somewhere or the other, it will appear to you. You keep thinking, how will I do the shingar? How will I do the decoration? But there somehow or the other, it gets fulfilled and it comes in time, right in time. So this is what he's trying to, and then Prabhupada tells us to do the constant with unflinching faith, with nothing in mind, mano, sharir, man और vach, तीनों चीजों से तपस्या करके you have to dedicate everything to Krishna, and the best way to do is the chanting of the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Is there any Kirtan, Mataji? Netravati Mataji?
Yes, Rakshita Mataji.
Yes, Rakshita Mataji.
Yeah, please continue.
Krishna Rakshita.
The attendance has been put up. I think people should.
Yeah. I request all the devotees for giving the attendance.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please unmute.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, just let me know if my fading or something, because I'm traveling and the network is
Can't hear you.
There is network.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Can you hear me?
Voice is feeble and cranky, Mataji. I'm leaving your message.
Can you hear me?
If it is possible, okay. Otherwise, we'll continue because we have only finished 50% of the presentation. Still more are there.
Okay, Prabhu.
Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhu, we can continue.
Shall we continue the session? Okay. Because 8th chapter completely it is coming under one session. All right. Mataji, you can stop there. Anybody wants break? If you want, you can take a 1 minute break.
Yeah.
Rakshita Mataji, there is a network problem, I think.
She's speaking to us from the moon, I think. Distant voice.
Okay, let us continue our session. Satatam means anywhere and anytime. Just like my residence is at Vrindavana. That is the place of Krishna. So now I am in America, in your country. But that doesn't mean that out of Vrindavana. Because if I think of Krishna always, so it is as good as I am in India, in Vrindavana. That is, Srila Prabhupada is giving the lecture about Bhagavad Gita 8.12 to 13 in New York, November 15, 1966. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Satatam, always remember Krishna. Every time, always, anytime, everywhere. That is the meaning of Satatam. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Whenever we remember Krishna, there is no difference between Lord Krishna and his remembrance, his name, his paraphernalia. It is all same. It is absolute. Krishna is the absolute personality, and we all are relative. Relative means it is conditions apply, whatever situation we are now. I am a human being. It is condition apply for one lifetime. But for Krishna, he is the supreme personality of Godhead. Absolutely. It will never change. So since he is an absolute personality of Godhead, supreme personality of Godhead, there is no difference between his name, his form, his paraphernalia, the remembrance of Krishna, or whatever it may be, anything related to Krishna, it is spiritual, or it is Krishna himself. His presence is there, or it is as good as having Krishna. So whoever devotee always remember Krishna, he has Krishna within him every time, always. So wherever Krishna is there, that is Vrindavana. So wherever Prabhupada goes, he makes it Vrindavana. He has traveled all over the world 14 times. He has made every place into Vrindavana. And wherever Prabhupada has gone now, those places, now the activities are going on only that of Vrindavana, or only that of Vaikuntha. He has established so many temples. And what is the purpose of temple? Serve the Lord. And what happens in the Vrindavana? Serving the Lord. So it is nothing but Vrindavana. So wherever pure devotees are there, there is Lord. And wherever there is Lord, that is Vrindavana. There is no need of changing the place where you are. You can make your place as good as same as Vrindavana by making it by serving the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is our Krishna conscious life. Krishna wants it. I must do it. I will not do anything for me. That is Vrindavana. All the inhabitants of Vrindavana, they're trying to fulfill Krishna's desire. The cowherd boys, the cows, the trees, the flowers, the water, the gopis, the elderly inhabitants, Mother Yashoda, Nanda, they are all engaged in fulfilling Krishna's desire. In Vrindavana, there are people who are attached to their own child, but more than that, they are attached to Krishna. So that is the attachment they have. Even the trees or the water, everything is attracted to Krishna. Even the season, when Krishna comes, the season will present itself with the best possible manner, and it will give everything that is possible. Just like if the king comes to the place, we make the best effort to make the place very attractive and very comfortable for him. Similarly, when Krishna comes here, everyone will try to serve him. It is not out of force or out of some rules or regulation. It is out of love, and they get unlimited pleasure because of that. By serving Krishna, we will get the spiritual pleasure. That is Vrindavana. So you can turn this material world into Vrindavana, provided you agree to fulfill the desires of Krishna. That is Vrindavana. Now for the Lord, there is nothing like material and spiritual. For the Lord, everything is spiritual, because everything is coming from him only. But because we use certain things for material purpose, then it will be considered as material. But if we use those same paraphernalia for the service of the Supreme, who is spiritual, those paraphernalia also becomes spiritual. So even though this is a material world, if we use this material world in the service of Krishna, then that becomes spiritual. The food we offer to the Lord, it is spiritual because the Lord has accepted it. The prasadam is spiritual. So this is one of the example we can understand. Tasyaham sulabha partha. In the earlier shloka, Krishna told abhyasa, you should practice. Now he is telling sulabha. Sulabha means easy. Easily you can do it. Tasyaham. The Lord is merciful to all, but as we have already explained, he is especially inclined towards those who always serve him without deviation. The Lord helps such devotees in various ways. That is the importance of doing Ananya Bhakti. If we do Ananya Bhakti, even if you don't remember Krishna at the time of death, the Krishna will remember the devotee and he will take him back to Godhead. So don't worry about the timings of leaving the body or in what situation you will be able to leave the body or whether you will be able to remember Krishna or not. No, whenever you are healthy, when you had the opportunity to serve Krishna, if you have used that opportunity to make the things possible, if you have done the devotional service, then definitely Krishna will remember the devotee if he forgets and he will take him back to Godhead. That is the benefit of doing the Ananya Bhakti, this practice of Bhakti Yoga. Abrahma Bhuvanaloka Punaravartino Arjuna Mamapetyetu Kaunteya Punarjanma Navidyate. You cannot find another place which is similar to the spiritual world or Vrindavana or Vaikuntha. That okay, Krishna, if he doesn't take me there, I will go somewhere else. I'll find some other destination. No, wherever you go, this problem is there. Punaravartina Arjuna. You have to take birth again. You have to die again. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Dosha, Anudarshana. You have to take birth, and these all four kinds of problems are there everywhere. But where there is no problem, that is Vrindavana or that is Vaikuntha. Even if we go to Brahmaloka, we should come back. We have to come back. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all the places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. The soul doesn't have death. The soul is eternally living. And at the present moment, we are also in the same mood. That's why if we see somebody dying, we get shocked. If we see something which regularly happening, we don't get shocked. But even though the birth and death, it is very common, but when we see the death, we get shocked. Because we are living in the mood of being in the spiritual world, or whatever applicable in the spiritual world, in the same mode we are living. But when we see the death, we get shocked, because that time we will understand, oh, this is the material body. This is not spiritual body. We want unlimited happiness, because in the spiritual world, happiness is unlimited. We don't like this old age, because in the spiritual world there is no old age. So whatever is there in the spiritual world, we are already familiar with it, because we have the experience of it. But because we are in this material world presently, we are experiencing all these problems. So what Krishna is telling, you just come back. You just come back, all your problems will be solved. And don't think that you can solve the problems being here. This is Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. You cannot change this. This material world like this only. Whatever you do, it is not going to change. This place is meant for suffering. You cannot make it a happy living place. So the only solution is to go back to Godhead. Punaravartino Arjuna. Again returning. In the day, they receive various bodies for material activities. And at night, they no longer have bodies, but remain compact in the body of Vishnu. Then again, they are manifest at the arrival of Brahma's day. This is how the material world is working. You can see here. This is Karanodakashaya Vishnu. This is Karanodakashaya Vishnu. And inside we have Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. Now, Karanodakashaya Vishnu is creating unlimited universes. You can see the small bubble-like thing. It's in the form of anda or egg. And within that, we have Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. So this is the second Purushavatara. Karanodakshaya Vishnu first, second comes Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, then comes Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Now Garbhodakshaya Vishnu has a lotus here from the navel, and in that Brahma is created, the first living entity. And Brahma creates 14 planetary systems. Rather, he populates the 14 planetary systems through the Prajapati, the Manu, through all those people. And they will generate more living entities, the 84 lakh species of life. And those 84 lakh species of life, the soul is introduced by the Lord himself. The body is created by Brahma. Our body is created by Brahma, but the soul belongs to the Lord. Brahma's job is to create a vacancy. The living entity has so many material desires, and that has to be fulfilled. It cannot be fulfilled in the spiritual world, because in spiritual world, Krishna is the enjoyer and rest all are Prakriti. Krishna is the Purusha. But the living entity, he is trying to become the Purusha. Now, if you want to become Purusha, then it is only possible in illusion. It is not possible in reality. So that illusion is created. So in illusion, you can become king. You can dream like a king. Okay, I have become a king now. Or you can enjoy like Krishna only in dream. You cannot really become the Lord. Nobody can become the Lord. And once the dream is broken, we will understand, oh, this is all false. This dream will be broken every time we die. Every time whatever possession we make or whatever establishment we make, everything will be lost. So like this, there are many lifetime the living entities will be going on. So how does this works? Bhutva bhutva praliyate, punar avartino. So when the material body is created, it is based on the desire and the activity. First of all, the living entity has some kind of desire, and also he should deserve it. He should have pious credit. A person may be desiring to become an engineer, but in the lifetime he may not have the opportunity to get a human body. Then he may become a bird, and he can make a nest, very nice nest. So a bird is also an engineer, good engineer. But he is doing the work of an engineer, but not in the body of human being, because he doesn't have the credit for getting a human body. So in this way, the desiring and deserving both should match. When that matches, accordingly the people will get different kinds of body. And how long this will go on? This will go on for the lifespan of that particular body. And also there is day and night for the Brahma. And during the night of Brahma, there is no creation. Brahma is going to sleep. Only during the day he will be creating. He will do the creation job. So at the night of Brahma, all the bodies will remain compact within the body of Vishnu. They'll remain in the body of Vishnu. And when the next day, that is in the morning, again Brahma gets up, just like we go to office. Brahma also gets up and gets ready, and he will start his office. And again, the living entity, whoever kept in the body of Lord Vishnu, they'll get new bodies. Like that, our desires are unlimited, and the body that Lord creates is also unlimited. So as many desires we have, as many bodies Lord has created. There are 84 million species of life, 84 lakhs, 8,400,000 species of life, different kinds of life. You want to fly like a bird? Yeah, you can take the body of a bird. You want to swim like a fish? You can take the body of a fish. Or you want to eat the flesh? Then you can take the body of a tiger. Or you want to sleep? You can take the body of a bear. Like that, unlimited desires are there, unlimited bodies are there. In this way, okay, as long as you are here, you can enjoy or you can suffer. And whenever you think of coming back, you can come back. So this is the environment that Lord has created. But the Lord desires us to go back to him. Don't remain here. And all these things, whatever happens, the lifespan of Brahma is very large. It is 311 trillion years. And it is happening with a breath of Lord Vishnu. When the Lord Vishnu exhales, all the these planetary systems, the universes are coming out of his body. And when he breathes in, everything will be taken back. So that is the breathing of Mahavishnu. So within one breath of Vishnu, the life of Brahma is there. Then we can understand the timings. Actually, there is no time limit in the spiritual world. It is there in the material world. The Kala or destruction is there only in the material world. So we can understand it is like when we go back to Krishna, it will be like a bad dream that we had. We came to this material world and went back. It will look like just like if you are waiting for someone for 2 hours. He told that he will come in 2 minutes and he came after 2 hours. And when the person comes back, we forget that much time we waited for him because we got the person there. So we'll just continue to our conversation. Or we get the relief and we just forget. Similarly, when we go back to Krishna, whatever happens here, it will be like just a moment, it has passed. Ultimately, when Brahma's life is finished, they are all annihilated and remain unmanifest for millions and millions of years. And when Brahma is born again in another millennium, they are again manifest. In this way, they are captivated by the spell of material world. So there are so many Brahmas are coming, and during different Brahmas, we again come here and go back, come here, go back, keep doing like that. That's why the living entity is called as Nitya Baddha. He will never go back to Godhead because of his material desires. Only by coming in touch with the pure devotee of the Lord or the Lord himself, many people can go back to Godhead. Otherwise, there is no chance, because this material world is created in such a way that person may get attracted to one or the other things. Daiviyesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya. Mamayevaye prapadyante mayametam tarante. If you want to escape this Maya, you have to surrender to Krishna. There is no other way. By our own effort, it is impossible. Bhutva bhutva praliyate. Manifest and annihilated again and again. It keeps going. Person, he may become a demigod, then he may become a human being, then he may become animal, bird, trees, or aquatics, or insect, or anything. Any kind of different kinds of bodies are there. The modern science doesn't know all the bodies that are present. So Krishna is explaining about the material world in the text number 16 to 19 here. That is Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartina Arjuna Mamupetyatu Kaunteya Punarjanma Na Vidyate. Then Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyad Brahmano Viduhu Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam Teho Ratra Vidojana. Then 19th one. Yeah. 18th is Avyaktad Vyaktaya Sarva Prabhavantya Aharagame Ratriagame Praliyante Taitraik Vyakta Sanyake Bhutagrama Sayevayam Bhutva Bhutva Praliyate Ratriagama Vashapartha Prabhavati Aharagame. This much we have seen just now, how the material world is acting. Now continuing, 20, 21, 22 is talking about the spiritual world. This much was about the material world. Now Krishna is speaking about spiritual world. Parastasmatu, that means above this. Para means more than that. That means apart from this, whatever I'm speaking now. Paratasmastu, that is higher than this. Parastasmastu bhavanyo vyakto avyakta sanatanaha, which is remaining always. Yasa sarveshu bhuteshu natsyashu na vinashyati. If the material world it gets destroyed, there is no destruction for spiritual world. It is ever existing. It is always there, where we can see the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Now, all of you please read the verses from 20, 21, and 22 and identify the key words or phrases which describe the spiritual world. How to describe the spiritual world? What are the key points? That means now, all of you please tell me one point about spiritual world. How is the spiritual world? You can go through in 1 or 2 minutes. You can take 20, 21, and 22. 3 shloka. Should I make a group here? It is.
We can just call out, Prabhuji. You can.
Yeah. Those who are ready, they can raise your hand. You have 2 minutes time for answering. One point each you can give. Okay, Deeparani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
The spiritual world is eternal. It is free from birth and death.
Yes, Mataji, just a minute. Spiritual world is free from birth and death. Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Can I tell one more?
No, we'll give us a chance to others. There are 2 points only.
Okay.
Thank you, Mataji. Sureshwar Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. There is explanation from this one Brahma Samhita, that is that a spiritual world is full of, it is decorated with desire trees and touchstones, and it is filled with survi cows. They are giving plenty of milk. Then again, goddess of Sahasra Shada Lakshmi, that is goddess of fortunes, are there, and there the Govinda is residing, and who is the cause of all causes.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Deepti Sahu Mataji, I think.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, only one point is Mataji has already covered, that it is Chintamani Dham, where all the desires are fulfilled. And one main point is if a person attains that particular abode, Lord's abode, then he never returns to this material world.
Yes.
So this is one of the key points. Yes.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Next. Anybody wants to add some more points? They can raise their hands. Muralidharan Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Lord resides there in all his splendor. His beauty is unparalleled, and he has colors which are my right, and the clouds that exist are amazing. There's a point about opulence I'm describing.
Opulence.
The Lord is present there in the
Okay.
Goloka.
Yeah, Lord is personally present. Yeah, Sarita Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So spiritual world has a lot of variegatedness, and it has a quality of spiritual bliss, and where there is nothing material in the spiritual world.
Okay, all spiritual.
All spiritual. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Next, Sarita Kapoor Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in these verses, they have given the words parha, which is called as transcendental. Then they have given the words as santata, eternal, and paramam, that is ultimate. And that they say is dhamma, which is abode. So from these paragraphs, plus he says that the supreme, the Lord, the abode of the Lord is actually a place which Mataji has already told, that there are desire trees, there's cow, there are surabhi cows, which is unlimited, limitless supply of milk. The Lord is served by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortunes, which are Lakshmis, and he's called Govinda, the primal Lord and the cause of all causes. And the Lord is accustomed to blow his flute, which Venu, his transcendental form, is most attractive in all the worlds. His eyes are like lotus petals, and the color of his body is like the color of the clouds. He's so attractive that his beauty excels that of the thousands of Cupid. He wears saffron cloth, a garland around his neck, and peacock feather in the hair. These all has been explained about the transcendental world.
You went to 20 points, sir. We asked only one.
Yeah. But everyone was telling, so I also told.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Kiruba Prabhuji, Hare
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare.
So blissful is and it is eternal, the transcendental place.
Yes.
And the main thing is it is unmanifested and infallible.
Okay.
So also the God,
Yeah.
yes, and also the Supreme Personality of Godhead, although he is in that abode, he is pervading everywhere. So even with the unalloyed devotion, we can reach him easily.
Okay.
He is present in his abode and also pervading in everyone situated within him.
Yeah, he is
So-
pervading. Yeah, it is not only in spiritual world, he is there in material world also. He is
Material also.
omnipresent.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Netravati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa.
Okay. That is blissful.
Spiritual, blissful, and never annihilated.
Never
Annihilated.
annihilated. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Muralidhar Prabhu, you want to say one more point? Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, the only ticket to this destination is pure devotional service. And in all the Vaikunthas, there is only one Supreme Godhead. Our destination is one, and the Supreme Lordhead is one. Godhead is one.
Okay. The Supreme, he is the Supreme Enjoyer, we can say. Lord is the Supreme Enjoyer in the spiritual world. Okay, Madhuri Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, his energies are so expansive that they're systematically arranged without any mistakes, without any flaws.
Yes, no mistakes. No.
They're systematically everything there in the cosmos.
Yes, Mataji. Shri Hari Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare.
There is no beginning and there is no end of it, and it is self-illuminated.
Yes.
It does not need any external illumination, things like the sun or the moon, which we have.
Yes, yes, self-illumination. Thank you, Mataji. Dhanwan, okay, Sureshwar Priya Mataji, you spoke. Unmute yourself. Once
Hare
you
Krishna.
yeah, lower your hand. Yeah. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Actually, there is one statement here. He is present in his abode, but at the same time, he is all pervading. So he is available everywhere. And another thing, his plenary expansions are Vaikunthas, and they are living in the Vaikunta planet. As Purushottama, Trivikrama, Keshava, Madhava, Aniruddha, Rishikesha, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Sridhara, Vasudeva, Damodara, Janardana, Narayana, Vamana, and Padmanabha. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. There are 24 Vaikunta planets. Thank you, Mataji. Dhanvantari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Babu.
Hare Krishna.
The spiritual Lord is known as Vaikuntha, the place of no insanity, where no death, diseases, no enmity, life is harmonious because everyone has common purpose, transcendental loving service to Supreme Person.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Babu.
Hare Krishna. That is the meaning of Vaikuntha. No anxiety. Kunta, Vigata Kunta Yasmad Vaikuntha. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. So we all know now what is spiritual world. Now only we have to go there. That's it. That is the only thing remaining now. Okay. Thank you for active participation. We'll continue our session now. So by taking the words from the Shastra, we get some idea how the spiritual world is. When the devotees painted this kind of paintings, Srila Prabhupada called them as the windows for spiritual world. By looking at these paintings, which are painted by the devotees, of ISKCON in earlier days, they will give us some glimpse how the spiritual world is. So this is the window. Just like from the window, if you see, look outside, you can understand what is happening outside the world. Similarly, from this material world, if we see, look at these images, these paintings by the devotees, which is as per the Shastra, we will understand how the spiritual world is. So these all are windows for the spiritual world, these paintings. Sanatana, eternal. Na vinashyanti, it is never annihilated. Paramam gatim, it is the supreme destination for all. And tadhama paramam mama, my supreme abode. That is the supreme abode of the Lord Krishna. And bhaktya labastu ananyaya. How to attain that? By devotional service. Attainable by unalloyed devotion. That is ananya bhakti, what we studied just now. So ananya bhakti will lead us to go back to Godhead. Talking about karmi, jnani and yogi, they have to leave this world at a suitable time if they want to go back, not to the spiritual world, but they'll enter the Brahma Jyoti, where everything is peaceful. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. During the influence of fiery god, during the light, at the auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, and during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north. If somebody is able to give up their body, first of all, you should become like this. You should go to forest and practice yoga, Ashtanga yoga, Shatchakra yoga, and elevate your energy to Brahmarandra, and then break that, and through that, if the soul is coming out. Generally, when the person is leaving his body, the soul comes out through the mouth or through the eyes, like that. Because when a person dies, if you observe, they will open their mouth or they will open their eyes like that. That means they have left the body through that hole, because our body has 9 holes. But a yogi, he leaves the body through the Brahmarandra, which is at the top of the head. So through that, if you are able to leave the body, not anytime, it should be during the influence of fiery god, during the daytime, not in the night, and auspicious moment of the day, and during the fortnight of the waxing moon, that is the Shukla Paksha, and during the Uttarayana, not in the Dakshinayana, 6 months when the sun travels in the north, because Dakshinayana means the heavenly planet is closed. Just like if you go to the bank at 6 o'clock in the evening, they'll not allow you to do any transaction. You have to wait for next day morning. Similarly, the heavenly planets, the demigods, it is night for them. So you should go in the daytime, that is in the Uttarayana. Then he will go to Brahma Jyoti. If one leaves the body at the time of designated above, either accidentally or by arrangement. Arrangement means he should be a Ichhamarani. Just like Bhishma Dev was Ichhamarani, he could give up his body at his will. But everyone will not be able to do that. That means accidentally. By accident, if you get this, you will reach the Brahma Jyoti. And from Brahma Jyoti also, person may fall down again, because there is no variety. Variety is the mother of enjoyment. And if there is no enjoyment, one cannot live for long. He has to come back. So either by arrangement or accident, you will reach the Brahma Jyoti somehow with so much of effort. And if in case by accident, if you leave your body during the night or fortnight of the waning moon, that is Krishna Paksha, or during the Dakshinayana, 6 months when the sun passes through to the south, then he will reach the moon, and then he will come back again with this certain type of body, depending on his desire and the activity, the karma or the deserve, whatever he deserves, accordingly he will get a body, and he has to start again. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani, jatare shayanam. So again and again, birth and death will take place. If the yogi is perfect, he can select the time and situation for living this material world. But if he is not so expert, his success depends on his accidentally passing away at a certain suitable time. So again, he is depending on someone. He is not free. So either coming to this body, it is not in our hand. The leaving this from this body, it is also not in our hand. So we should not take a chance, because we don't know when we are going to leave this body. So always be prepared. So always think of Krishna. Thinking of Krishna is not only good for leaving the body, it is also good when you are present in this body. We are always in touch with the Lord, and our life will be so blissful, and it is so happy life we can live. So it is always a good idea to have the association of the Lord. So either living or at the time of death, one must remember Krishna. Although the devotees know these two paths, O Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion. So it is the duty of the Jivera Sarupahaya, Krishnera Nityadasa, that is Adhyatma. Our real happiness is there in serving Krishna. If you observe any person in the society, he might have possessing so much of wealth, or so much of name, or whatever he has thought of achieving, he might have got it, but still something is lacking in his life. And on the other hand, a person who is doing some menial service in the temple or to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if you do any small service, you will get so much of pleasure, because you are serving the actual person to whom you are supposed to serve, and that is the real Sarupa of the living entity. Just like a child, if it is away from the mother, whatever you may give to the child, you may give chocolate, you may give toys, whatever, after some time it will again start crying, I want mommy. Otherwise, if the child is in the lap of mother, if nothing is there also, no problem. The child will play at the lap of the mother. Similarly, when we are serving the Lord, we are happy. And when we are not serving the Lord, when we are away from the Lord, whatever we may have, it is incomplete. These all are big zeros. Whatever we possess in the material world, they are big zeros. And if you keep Krishna in front, it will have some value. Or even if you have million zeros, it is again zero only. It doesn't have any value. At the time of death, everything is over. You will not be able to take anything back. A devotee should know that concern over these two paths is troublesome. The best way to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness is to be always dovetailed in his service. And this will make one's path to the spiritual kingdom safe, certain, and direct. He knows that his passage to the supreme abode is guaranteed by devotional service. Now, to get the devotional service, one should have the association of devotees. One will not be able to understand how to serve the Lord, or he will not get the opportunity if he is not having the association of the devotees. So keeping the association of the devotees is very, very important. In the association of devotees, a person can achieve many things in his spiritual life. When he is alone, the controlling of senses itself is becoming very difficult. But when he is an association of the devotees, he can serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And even Krishna also wants the same thing. He wants to see that all his devotees are working together. Then only he will take us back to Godhead. In the spiritual world, if we have some problem with Krishna, it's okay. Krishna can manage. But if we fight among ourselves, Krishna doesn't like it. So all the devotees should be in association, and they should always work together and do devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So doing devotional service and being in the association of the devotees is the key to success in the spiritual life. And going back to Godhead is guaranteed. That is the supreme abode, guaranteed by Bhakti. At once attains my nature. Of this, no doubt. This is Krishna has told in the beginning itself. Will attain me without doubt. He is sure to reach me. In many places he is telling, I am easy to obtain. 5, 7, 8, 14. You can go through the text. Attained by unalloyed devotion. So Ananya Bhakti is glorified here. So what is the conclusion? We have to reach the platform of unalloyed devotion. And for that, we should perform devotional service. For performing devotional service, we should have the association of the devotees. And in the association of devotees, by performing devotional service, we can advance in spiritual life, and one day we will come to the Ananya Bhakti. And if we are coming to the Ananya Bhakti platform, definitely the person will go back to Godhead, irrespective of what condition you leave the body, whether the Uttarayana or Dakshinayana doesn't matter, day or night doesn't matter. Whatever state you may be, Krishna will take care. This is again, Prabhupada is confirming here. Chapters 7 through 12 are essence of Bhagavad Gita. So whatever we are learning, we are very fortunate to get this information or this knowledge. This knowledge is not available in the schools at present. So they don't have the proper goal of life. The first 6 chapters and last 6 chapters are the like coverings for the middle 6 chapters. The middle 6 chapters are giving the real essence of Bhagavad Gita, which are especially protected by the Lord. Now, anybody studies these 6 chapters, that is, if one is fortunate enough to understand Bhagavad Gita, especially these middle 6 chapters in the association of devotees, then his life at once becomes glorified beyond all penances. That means whatever penances you may do, you may not be able to achieve this. Whatever sacrifice you may do, you may not able to achieve this. Whatever charity or speculations you may do, you may not able to come to this kind of spiritual advancement, which you are able to get it by the association of devotees and practicing Krishna consciousness. For one can achieve all the results of these activities simply by Krishna consciousness. Now we can understand what kind of work Srila Prabhupada has done. He has made a broad way towards the spiritual world. He has told whenever, even before going to America, he told, I have an idea how to perfect the living entities, the life of each and every living entity. So he has a very proper pathway or what is to be done. And that's what he has done. And it will be there for next 10,000 years. People will get benefited. And whoever take it seriously, they can go back to Godhead. And there is no birth, no death, no old age, no disease. Sarcastically, it is said, you don't have to go to LKG again. You don't have to take the exams. There is no SSLC exam once more for you if you go back to Godhead. So that is the benefit of going back to Godhead. No need to study the material science again. So by offering our obeisance to Srila Prabhupada, we'll conclude today's session. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now we have, okay, exactly 2 hours we are taking. Yeah, anybody has any questions in today's session, they can raise their hand. Yeah, Sureshwar Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Regarding Krishna, I just want to know about little more about that Mahatattva. That is 3 different types of Vishnu: Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, and Karanodaka Sai Vishnu. But see, from the yesterday only I was reading this particular Goloka chart. So these 3 Vishnus are coming in the material world, or they are in the spiritual world, because they are coming under the Mahakala area of the Goloka chart.
Yeah, before that, I remember Sarita Mataji's question. She has asked about intelligence and Mahatattva. Yes, Mataji, whatever you told is correct. Intelligence is coming from Mahatattva. It's a part of it. Mahatattva includes everything. It is not only the 5 elements. It is including this intelligence also is a part of it. It is coming from there only. But more information is I could not get. It is told in one place. Yes, it's everything. Everything means everything is coming from Mahatattva. The Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara, it also included within the Mahatattva. Yeah, Sureshwar Priya Mataji, whatever question you asked. So they all are in the spiritual world. They are not in the material world. Even Krishna comes here, he is still in his spiritual world.
Because it is part of his energy, but he is not touched with energy. Is it that way? Okay. Yeah. And one more thing I want to confirm with you, that is Karanodaka Sai Vishnu is making that Karana river, and he is lying there, and due to his exhalation, you can say the different universes are coming, isn't it?
Yes.
And into each universe, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu enters.
Yes.
And that is called Brahmanda.
Yeah.
Brahmanda, and within that, then that Brahma will be this one. Brahma is coming from Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, and Brahma will be creating 14 planetary systems.
Yes.
Lower 7 and upper 6 from Earth level, isn't it?
Yes.
And then where this Naraga, 24 Naraga is hells, they are living in the Padala or
Yeah,
where
below that, below the 14 planetary system. It doesn't come under 14 planetary system. Below that.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It's like Brahmanda is like, it is given for one Brahma will have one Brahmanda. Just like one principal will have one college.
Okay.
Entire college is coming under him. Similarly, this entire Brahmanda will be managed by one Brahma. And that Brahma will create these planetary systems and the different species. It's all his responsibility. And he will create Manus and Prajapatis, and they will again help him to continue.
Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Sarita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare.
Prabhuji, I have this doubt, like, how is it possible to remember Krishna all the time? Means, especially when we are mainly involved in materialistic activity, or we are discussing with the people who are not in Krishna consciousness. Actually, it's very difficult to remember Krishna that time. So how is it possible, Prabhuji? Any tips if you can?
Yeah, this is like Abhyasa Mataji. By practice, we can do. We should deliberately remember Krishna. Create an environment in the place where you are working to make it possible to remember Krishna. Just like you can keep the pictures of Krishna around you. And the result of your work, a portion of that you can give to Krishna. And you can have some plan for serving Krishna. Just like some people have plan for going to Yatra. So if next week is Yatra, then that Yatra will be ringing in your mind. That means it's something spiritual you're doing. So even without knowing, you keep remembering it. Or you may have some service to give to Krishna. So that service will involve so many activities. So just like you have some service given in the, today's Radhashtami, all the Abhisheka, whatever preparation has to be done, it is given, you are the in charge now. Now you should get many Matajis, and you should get the fruits, and you should get it cut, and you should make the juice and pour it in proper pots and get it covered in place. And then you should make sure that it reaches the Abhisheka place at the right moment. If you're taking this much of in charge, then your mind starts thinking in that way. Where these people are to get them, where to get the fruits, and which fruits to get, what is the quantity, what is the cost, and where are the pots, how to clean it, where to keep it after cleaning, and so many things will come. So take some service in the temple or at home, so that you will remember, just like you remember your child. People, when the child is born, they will think after 20 years what this child should become. Immediately they will start thinking. They'll have some insurance, and they will get a scholarship, and they will have some idea whether the child should be engineer or a doctor or lawyer or whatever. So similarly, by taking certain services for the Lord, we get more and more remembrance of the Lord. That we should do it like a abhyasa. That's why Prabhupada has given so many activities in ISKCON.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah, thank you so much. So basically, when we are involved in the devotional services, it somehow our mind will be thinking about it.
Yes, Mother.
Prabhuji, if somebody is working in a corporate, okay, so but then the person is contributing to Krishna consciousness. So in that way, if his mind always attached in work while working, so that is fine, right? Like if he is not.
Until you have the desire for serving Krishna, if that is the main motive, then nobody is going to object what you're doing, because you can take the mother and child is the best example. The mother is doing all the activity for the child. Nobody can say that, oh, you are going to office, you don't have a child to take care. No, I'm doing all this for the child only.
Yeah.
So similarly, whatever I'm doing, it is protecting my devotion. It is not at the cost of leaving the devotion. It's like some people get some job abroad, and in the workplace is you have to work for 14 hours, and you will not get the time for chanting. You may get a few lakhs of rupees, but your devotional service will completely go down. You will not get any devotees there, and you don't get sattvic food for eating. Then don't go there. Not necessary. Don't do ugra karma. But if it is conducive for your devotional life, then you can take it. But it is not permanent. No, you are working for certain years.
Correct.
Then you will be definitely coming out of it, and then you can take it full time.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Madhuri Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, a small doubt. I just wanted to know the split of this 84 lakh species. How many number of birds or animals?
There in Padma Purana, Jalaja Navalakshani, 9 lakh species of aquatic animals. Sthavara Lakshavimshati, trees are 20 lakhs. Kramayo Rudra Sankyaka, 11 lakh species of insects. Pakshinam Dashalakshanam, 10 lakh species of birds. Trimsal Lakshani Pashavaha, 30 lakhs species of animals. And Chatur Lakshani Manushaha, 4 lakh species of human beings.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
I had the same question, Prabhuji. Thank you for answering that.
Hare.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Dipti Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, at one place you said there
Yeah.
the job of Brahmaji is to create a vacancy. So what does that mean? Could you please clarify a little bit on that?
Yeah, body is needed for fulfilling the desires. If we don't have the body, you cannot fulfill your desire. Just like there are ghosts.
Right.
They want to enjoy, but they can't enjoy. They want to drink water, but they can't drink water because they don't have body. Any enjoyment, this body is needed. This body is used for doing any activity. So the Brahma is creating this body.
Right.
And because of this body, living entity gets the body and they can fulfill their desires.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Got it. Yeah. Thanks. Hare Krishna.
Any other questions? Hemant Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, we discussed that in spiritual world there is no birth, but spiritual world is full of varieties of different species like peacocks, cows, parrots, and the newborn cows. So how can we understand that, Prabhuji?
I think Prabhuji is frozen.
Yes, Prabhuji. Seems like a network issue.
Yeah, network issue. Yes. Now he's the host.
I think my network was poor. I'm sorry. Okay, Hemant Prabhu. Hare Krishna. You can